You're listening to Winnipeg's Classic 107. My name is Simon Rusnak. Manitoba Underground Opera proudly presents weird and wonderful ways of sharing the grand art form. Their current season, titled Odyssey 2023, expands their activities to a 4-show year, and it all begins tonight with the world premiere of the Mansplaining Division. To hear more, I'm joined by composer Laura Gow and Manitoba Underground Opera General Manager Brendan McKeen. Good morning to you both.
Hi.
Good morning.
Well, thank you both for being here. Laura, before we get to the opera itself, I'm wondering if you could first define mansplaining for anyone listening who might not have encountered the term before.
Yeah, sure. So mansplaining is like talking down or kind of patronizing, usually done by a man to a woman. And it's usually like something that should be obvious to anybody else. There was no need to explain that. Thank you.
Well, actually, no, just kidding.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the Mansplaining Division itself. So this is an opera. You composed the music with Karen Ramoto providing libretto, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can you tell us more about that partnership and the opera itself?
Yeah. I started it on my own. And then that was like way too much for one person. So we brought in Karen, which was awesome. She's got great ideas, great text for me to work with. And yeah, she's got a great perspective. So it was easy for me as the composer. What was the next question?
Well, in terms of the story itself, could you tell us about the Mansplaining Division?
Yeah. Yes, it is about a guy who is kind of, a mansplainer. And he utters the dreaded not all men word, which triggers the 3 Furies from the underworld to come grab him and take him for some training. In their world.
An immersive learning experience, I think, or an immersive learning program is how it's billed on the Manitoba Underground website. Brendan, let me bring you into the conversation. You, of course, have been on the show before talking about the various MUO productions, but this production is the first ever Manitoba Underground Opera commissioned work. Congratulations.
Yay, we made it. It started before the pandemic, so it feels like it's been going on for at least 3 decades. We got together with Laura and said, your perspective's not being shared on stage. What do you want to say? And then we went through a couple versions of different plots, different stories, landed on this and workshopped it and put it together.
Well, I was curious about that. I mean, in terms of the partnership, how did that process work? Did you approach Laura originally, or was there an open call? How did this commission come about?
We approached Laura. Laura had worked with MUO years before that, and we'd seen her piece Morgues and Meows with the WSO New Music Festival. And we thought, opera has a very distinct history of kind of sharing just one perspective. And so this was a way for us to go, okay, more people need to tell stories, more people need to see themselves in this. Let's start here, and let's learn about how this process goes together. So thank you, Laura, for writing such a great opera.
Anytime.
Well, as Brendan just alluded to, Laura, this isn't your first opera. You're a Des Hôtels Faculty of Music grad whose opera, Morgues and Meows, premiered in 2017 and was featured in the WNMF. Can you tell us more about your musical approach? What can the audience expect to hear?
Well, it's more, I guess, rock-based. It's got electric guitar. I think it's more related to my influences, which are not classical based rather than traditional opera. So it's nothing like traditional opera. Basically, forget everything before walking in, if that's what you think.
I was reading on your bio, you talk about making opera more accessible.
Yeah.
Can you talk more about that?
Yeah, I feel like traditional opera is just not, it's not there for everybody. Partly because of the stories, and, they're all written by men. The staging is sometimes they're wearing costumes from, the 1800s. Like, okay, we're past that. It's in a different language. People don't get it, like they, unless you studied it or know it really well. Mm-hmm. And sometimes in big venues, it's maybe not affordable either. I mean, that's part of what Manitoba Underground Opera does anyway is it makes it affordable.
And so in terms of this production, I mean, like you say, it is going to be sung in English.
Yep.
So, I mean, that level of comprehension will be there.
Yep.
It is going to be staged at the Pyramid Cabaret, which is going to be a ton of fun. And then how it's realized on the stage, I think, is going to be another way that makes it accessible,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, it's a little bit more towards the musical theater side, I think, with the staging.
Perhaps
yeah.
even cabaret, one might say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very, very fun. And then, Brendan, let's talk about, the reaction, because this is the first ever Manitoba Underground Opera Commission. Ticket sales have been going very, very well.
Supremely well. We started off not knowing what was going to happen, so we picked 2 nights and said that will be fine. And then as soon as we let season passes on sale, we realized, okay, one of those nights would be sold out before we've even started. So we added a 3rd night, and now opening and closing are both sold out. And we are sitting on 16 tickets left for Thursday, and then we are full.
Yeah,
It's
so
incredible.
if anyone's listening and thinking like, I might want to go check out this opera, don't sleep on that.
No, do it
you should
now.
probably go sooner rather than later. And the place to go is ManitobaUndergroundOpera.com. The world premiere of the Mansplaining Division takes place tonight at the Pyramid Cabaret. And this just the beginning of Manitoba Underground Opera Odyssey 2023, Brendan. And for listeners who are thinking like, oh, I might have missed the opportunity. No. There's still plenty to check out. This not so much a Manitoba Underground Opera Festival it has been in years past, but instead a full-on season.
Yeah, we've expanded to be a full season, and this one's about Odyssey. So there was a lot of traveling not happening during the pandemic for obvious and great reasons. And when devising this, we went, people need to get away. So we're going to start by taking them to the underworld, and then we're going to take them to ancient Greece. And then our season closer in late September, we're going to be at the Manitoba Museum on the Nonsuch. So big travel around. And then, of course, our kids show, which is going to literally travel around the whole province and share opera with people ages 5 to 11.
Oh, I mean, there's just so much to look forward to in this Manitoba Underground Opera season, which is just so fun to say. Tonight, the world premiere of the Mansplaining Division. Laura, congratulations. It's got to feel great to have this work being shared with the world, right?
Yes, finally.
Finally.
Yes.
And I mean, of course, we haven't yet talked about the musicians and the singers who are going to be up on stage. Brendan, I imagine everybody's doing an incredible job.
It's ridiculous. I really lucked out with this one. Some of the singers didn't know each other, and now they're basically siblings, which is amazing. We've got some favorites returning, Sydney Clark and Carmen Harris, and we've also got a new tenor coming in who's never sang in this city, and he's playing John Woe Is Me, and I have to say his voice is incredible. This man is not to be missed in anything he does. Andrew Daring.
So if you have your tickets, consider yourself lucky. The world premiere of the Mansplaining Division taking place tonight. There is a performance again tomorrow with just 16 tickets left. So
That's it.
Get them before they're gone. And then a sold-out show on Friday. This is just the beginning of Manitoba Underground Opera. Brendan will be sure to have you back. And we're going to close out this conversation. I don't have any music from this because it's a world premiere. We don't have any music from this. So
it's a secret.
It's a secret. So congrats to all those who are going to be there. Instead, we'll hear some music from back in 1754, total right turn, left turn, whatever the expression is. This is some music from later in the Manitoba Underground Opera season, a selection from Castor et Pollux. Thank you both for being here.
Lovely.
Thanks.
Have a good one.